Get the graphics all set up. Where am I? What? I would have to assume we're over here. Why did the police the camera all the way over here, though? Right? Why is the camera over here, please? Okay, well. Either way. Oh dear. Rio Redemption versus Moths. Notably, Gagbag is absent. He had to go focus on IRL stuff, so that is a massive amount of firepower now gone. Agreed is here. But, yeah. Losing Gag is not the best of situations. Now, Doomfist versus Maga. This is interesting. I genuinely want to see what happens here, because from what I understand, Maga is not even remotely powerful anymore. And yeah, Sammy taking a lot of damage, but agreed with the signature feeding. Ton of damage coming in on both sides, really. But it seems like Rio's getting the worst end of the bargain. Keep in mind, folks, that this is not just the first of two. This is the first of two that determines which of these teams makes it into the top four and actually gets a chance to win it all. Agreed, swap the mug as well, and it looks like he's better at it right now. Baz taking a ton of damage. Everyone stays alive, however. Novus, the lowest player from the draft, SR-wise, popping off. Diamond player, and that's a pretty clean team kill. They do need to cap the point, however. There you go. Okay. Getting worried for a second. But giving up only 30-something% really isn't that bad. Recto, notably, is in as well. Didn't see him in the first series of the day. Versus Late Ducks Dynasty, and honestly, it might have been better that he was there, but unfortunately not the case. Kitsune Rush almost immediately and agreed taking out Tanakbi's turret, but he feeds. However, Saga now gone. Sammy alive, but it's getting dicey as it feels like Moths are starting to lose their grip a little bit here. Doesn't matter that Agreed is dead if he can take a few people with him, or at least set up the team to do that for him. And now, Rio pulling up that percentage a little bit further. Damien getting a bit aggressive, and a lot of chunk damage there from Shoreline. Artillery strike, all three in one spot. Doesn't really seem to do too much, but Recto is taken out by Sam. And now Novus. About 50, maybe 60%. You have Baz. All his lonesome, doing whatever it is he's doing. I wouldn't chase him if I were someone. Damien? No. No. Oh, that... Look, Damien falling down like that isn't going to matter as much because Kiriko can get back, but Sam dying like that is actually crucial to retaking this. However, Agreed just kind of feeding, as per usual. Kind of evens up the playing field, you know? It was looking promising for a brief moment there, but now they just gotta back up. They had a moment where they could have come back in. Novus tried his darndest. He's found multiple of these kills on the railgun. Needs to find some of these kills, but Tanakbi snipes him from halfway across the map. Oh, just in time to see a nasty hit onto Baz as well. And it looks like Moths, despite a really rocky start here, are going to be taking this first round. I don't know if anyone can even contest here. Tanak looking for stragglers. Okay, Baz does get the touch. Overtime is there, but Novus and Agreed now gone. Agreed on the Reinhardt. Not really going to matter. Baz with a solo beats just to hopefully do something, but no. That's all she wrote. That's going to be Rio going down. It'd be tragic if after all the effort they've put in and played really well against some really tough teams if Rio went down here, of all places. But it's only one round on one map. Score is still 0-0. This is the match to end all matches, folks. If Rio wants to stay in this, it's gonna have to start here on downtown of Busan and pull something together. You want to bring it to Sanctuary? Shrine? Whatever the hell that third point is called. You want to bring it there. Seeing some more Maga play, interestingly enough. I really don't think that's the most meta pick, but I don't know if anyone really knows what the meta is. But it seems like the Bastion certainly is working quite well, as Rio's immediately on the back foot, losing 3 people, make it 4. Dawes had some difficulties last series versus Leydux Dynasty, but seems to be doing much better now with a lesser opponent, shall we say. They are going to have to start finding their footing here, though, Rio is. Novus has managed to find picks every now and then. A player who is not integrated into the rest of the friend group. Like, the entire rest of Rio, besides this player we're currently watching, is from Season 0. Have known each other for years. Novus is just a complete random, and has been doing really well. Unironically. So, I hope they're having fun at the very least, because that's really a good situation if they can get something good out of this little weekend tournament. Dawes with the Kitsune Rush makes it a little bit more difficult for anyone to really push in. Novus and Rector looking for something, but neither of them get anything. Tanic finding a hammer kill. He was looking so desperately for it. Unbelievable. Kiroy cheering on his teammates in chat, but Damien now with the nano boost. Who's he going to give it to? Probably Recto, maybe Agreed. Mago's ultimate, I don't know what this is called, but we're just going to go with it, and well, a little bit of a bloodbath here, but it seems like Moths just got the better of the situation. Agreed with his own ultimate, and he actually finds 2 kills, so maybe he can make something of this. He does have Baz with him, but they're in one fight territory. So that was a Hail Mary if I ever saw one. They're going to need to play perfectly for the remainder of this point, and then pull it back together once again on Shrine. Molten Core chunks down Agreed's health quite a lot. Sam taking a lot of damage as well. Tanic and Recto trade blows, and it looks like Moths just have better coordination, better target focus there, and they're on one fight territory. You're gonna have one quick recontest here, but it's gonna get dicey. I don't even know if they can touch, actually. Baz is probably gonna go for the touch. Sure enough, he is. 97. 98, the boop is good! Oh no. Absolutely stellar boop there from Saga, a name that we haven't seen, at least on this stream. Unbelievable. If this isn't the boop, it unfortunately probably isn't. No, it isn't. It isn't the boop, but that was the actual play of the game. That was an unbelievable play from Saga. Perfectly timed to just yeet Baz up into the stratosphere. Unbelievable. Let me just update the score. Moths take a point, and they're on match point. This is a first 2. So it's gonna get dicey now, because Rio, again, whoever loses this series, whoever gets knocked out of this, gets knocked out of playoff contention. They're fighting for 5th place, or maybe they just take 5th/6th, depending on what they want to do tomorrow. They are allowed to play for 5th, but I don't know if it'll be streamed. I don't know if both teams will want to. We are having some substitutions. Kilroy coming in for Novus. Amor coming in for Recto. Kind of surprised about that. I would almost expect you to keep Recto in. We do have Sam getting subbed out for Greninja. And it looks like everyone else is staying the same. Yeah. Yep. So, it's going to be Rio's map pick. And it's really up to them. I think they're just going with hybrid. I think they just chose King's Row. or running it down. This is the map they beat, at the very least, Ducks on. So, King's Row is banned. I mean, I wouldn't blame Rio for wanting to pick Kings, and I wouldn't blame Moths for banning Kings. A little bit of banter in match chat, but we're just waiting for them to get all set up. Rio, with their backs against the wall, if they want to actually have a chance to get up into that 4th place spot, now is the time to do it. I wasn't expecting Moths to come out swinging that hard, especially after they just kind of looked like fish in a barrel after facing Ducks Dynasty. Now, granted, Ducks Dynasty is completely undefeated, but I don't know, Moths looked a lot worse in that series than they did right now. Looks like we're going to Eichenwald. Kilroy's taken out, Recto's back in, so I'd assume Recto's more like the Ash specialist. Kilroy seems to be more of like a general hit scan specialist, and Moore seems to be more of like just a general flex, and Novus maybe is just like a Sojourn player, because that's kind of all he played. Either way, I think we're just about ready. Should be going back in just a moment. And this could potentially be the end of, effectively, the tournament for Rio, if they don't pull something out. I don't imagine they're going to play Maga again. It'd be funny if they did. It's certainly not a meta pick. Well, teams have given the honor, so we're mostly just waiting on time to click the button to start. Pretty fast first map, all things considered. Okay, here we go. It took a minute. Well, it's up 1-0. All they need is that second win here on Eichenwald to secure their spot by the skin of their teeth in the top 4 and face off against probably Ducks Dynasty. I don't imagine they're going to be dropping down to first place. In fact, I don't even know if it's mathematically possible. Just because of their map differential up until this point, they could drop down 4-1 and still probably be just fine. Agreed, however, sticking with the Maga. I guess whatever works in terms of comfort. Amor on the Sojourn, Recto on the Tracer. He is known as a Tracer specialist in the last 2 seasons of League 0. Season 4 powerhouse. And then Season 5 briefly with Red Veil, and then eventually traded over to Easy Clap. Greninja in, of course, for Sam. On the Junker Queen, interestingly enough. A lot of poking. Nothing really happening of it quite yet. Shoreline Pie, however, brought very low. Greninja not quite hitting his shots, but Agreed, coming in with a vengeance. He wants some kills, and he doesn't care who he has to pile drive through to get it. Greninja, the first to fall to Amor, and a lot of people antied right there. Damien getting a nice anti. Few kills coming in against the defense, but it doesn't really seem to matter. Although that does give Moths a little bit of time where they might have the advantage, although the staggered kill onto Shoreline Pie might bite them a little bit. Tanic looking for some purchase with the Echo. Not really finding too much quite yet. The see Greninja is already getting quite low. Amore falling low, but wasn't in view of the death ray, and Tanic kind of walked straight into that one. Almost a tick given up, but not quite. Agreed, however, is down. And now you're starting to see the cleanup. Damien Dapp looking for some kills, and Recto still there. Not a tick given quite yet. Now it is. I think, right? It made the sound. But the point doesn't... Okay, there we go. Okay, that was quite weird. Beats challenging each other. But it seems like the offense here, Moths is doing just a little bit better, but Agreed is now back. Doing quite a bit of damage. Tanic once again getting low, and he didn't quite have the copy, so Recto will get away with that one. Has to recall, but he's still pretty safe, and it looks like everything's going to stabilize at about 56.6% on the point. This is exactly what they need to do. Agreed? Despite the fact that Maga is certainly not meta anymore. He seems to be doing pretty darn good with it. Tanic already low again. Recto just has his number. The B has been grounded. Recto with a bit of spam. A bit of BM in the match chat. And Tanic, he has the copy, but I mean, who does he copy? Does he copy Agreed? Copy maybe a more? Recto, so you have 3 tracers on the board. It'd be funny. But Recto coming up with the Pulse Bomb. Who's he going to look to attach it to? Bit of a weird recall there. Recto's going to have to play it safe, and sure enough, Tanic copies the Maga. A lot of ultimates being brought up. Pulse Bomb onto Tanic B. The fadeaway. Agreed does fall, and a second tick is given up. I'm not sure if Rio's going to be able to recontest this. No, they won't. It captured far too fast. And Baz is just caught out alone. He does take out Dawes with a little bit of style and got kind of close to taking down Saga there. But Recto now caught out. Should be able to get away. He has full HP. Never mind. Okay, Tanic with the magnetic grenade will close that out. Good stall though. It honestly looked promising at times. Now the question is, if you're Agreed, with this ultimate on Maga, what do you do here? This is like the best possible situation you could have had, but the beat coming in keeps everyone alive. Agreed, just kind of fed, and Baz's beats doesn't really come into play fast enough, so they're just trying to play cleanup. Recto and Amore, however, finding the picks necessary, and everyone's caught out away from the point, away from where they want to be. They're just in a little bit of a killing box right now, and while Greninja is with them, meaning that no one can get too close. They're in an awkward situation, although they weren't paying attention to the respawns. Shoreline Pie and Tanic come back. Saga meets up with them. And the point is finally allowed to come back through. However, 2:25 on the clock for second point Eichenwald is not a lot. That can get whittled down very fast. Recto does have another Pulse Bomb. Tanic is getting close to that noon. You can see he's waiting for an opportunity. Someone. Oh no! Tanic walks straight into that, and there's only so much you can do. The healers tried to keep him alive, but too much damage all at once. Going back and forth, and that should favor the defense under these circumstances. Their spawn is going to be a little bit closer. Beautiful shot there from Amore, and Greninja just staggering themselves out. Now, this is what I mean by it's going to get dragged out quite a bit here. And now, you do have some swaps coming in. Tanic going over to the Genji, interestingly. I don't know what he's planning on doing with the Blade. Maybe he's just waiting for Greninja to use their ultimate and get, like, the anti-hit. Okay, well, Tanic just annihilated Recto. I don't know where that came from. Recto is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Agreed now on the Junker Queen as well. I wonder how long that's been the case, but... Okay. I legitimately was not expecting that. As, I mean... Rio has a ton of ultimates, they just didn't use any. They just kind of let themselves get annihilated, and Baz is just caught out by himself. He gets the Mega Health back, he's coming back to the rest of the team. Kitsune rushes, coming in for both teams. However, Rio's kind of caught in a choke point. Tanic going for another bit at Recto, but not really finding any ground there. Agreed, getting dangerously low, not quite finding the bleed damage he needs, and he will fall almost immediately. Tanic and Dawes cleaning up that second point. 2 minutes on the clock, but it's going to get dicey now. The defense does have quite a strong spawn advantage. Oh, deflected! Unbelievable! Oh no. Tanic. I don't know where this came from. Recto. Excuses, excuses. Now that I say that, Tanic's getting rather low. I think Recto's hungry for a bit of revenge. The blade is coming in, but I mean, what does he partner that with? There is no nano, just a dry blade. And yep, it's a zoning blade. He gets annihilated by Agreed. Charges in, stereotypical Agreed stuff. Can't really find any more kills. Going for Greninja, and there you go. The follow-up is there. Rio finally stems the bleeding. Or starts it, I suppose, if you're staring at Agreed. And even with that, they have some ultimates being built up right now. Now, you have the Pulse and the Beat, and soon to be the Kitsune Rush on the side of Moths. Oh, but it doesn't even matter if Amor does that. Dawes pokes his head out and just immediately deleted. Gone. Go back to spawn, good sir. Saga getting dangerously low as well. Amor certainly showing why he's been brought in for this map, although a little bit of feeding, mayhaps, not quite. A lot of ultimates being brought out, but Rio just finding all the picks they need. It doesn't matter, the beat's too late. Railgun chunking through the health, and Greninja can only do so much. I don't even know where Saga came from, but he's now gone, and no overtime. Rio stops the cart right there, but that is a good push. Moths are gonna have to defend quite a bit, and there's plenty of opportunities to full hold on first or second point. But if Rio wants to keep it alive, man, they need to push. Exactly 2 points and 45 meters, give or take. A little bit less than 45 meters, I suppose. North is coming home. You're battling for 4th seed right now of round robin. Don't get too excited quite yet. But it was a good start. Both teams had their moments. Let's hope it wasn't just a flash in the pan from Rio. That they pull out the big guns here.
They have this coming, so let's give it to them.
That's sick. If they want, I can send them some stuff too.
Well, you do have basically the same lineup from Rio. Agreed, running out on the Junker Queen this time around. Seems to be a more viable tank option than Maga. Whereas Greninja starting on that Sigma, one of the other viable tank options that I've heard of. Question will be, can they get in the face of Greninja fast enough to make it worthwhile? Or are they going to have to swap to something else besides the Junker Queen? Already, they're closing the gap quite a bit, and Agreed going in, but decides to face off against some of the folks in this little hallway, and Agreed somehow survives that. Baz not quite so lucky, but the defense losing members here is significantly more significant. Saga up on the high ground. No one should be able to contest him quite now unless they flank around. Recto, on the other hand, waiting for an opportunity to jump in. Greninja getting pretty low, has to get healed up and use that grasp. So that's quite a few cooldowns now gone. Lamp now out in a less than optimal position. Tanic as well in danger, but Damien and Agreed both fall, so it's pretty even right now. Technically, the defense shouldn't be in favor. of this fight, but it seems to be working out that way. Recto taking a lot of damage, but Amor comes in with 2k. Greninja has to use his grasp and just back out. Daw is giving the question marks. They do not want to give this up, but Recto said enough is enough. We're getting this tick. Tanic coming back, looking to contest something here, but it doesn't really matter all that much. This is going to be first point for Rio. I don't know how they brought that back, but Amor and Recto really showed what they got here. Truly a DPS diff this time around. However, this is going to get kind of dicey now for the Junker Queen, I think. Although I say that and Agreed is quite literally in their faces. Oh dear, the Rampage coming in, but is there any follow-up? There's a lot of healing coming into play, but the follow-up is there. It's a team wipe. Unbelievably aggressive Agreed play. But I wouldn't expect anything else. That was one hell of a performance. Tank diff, if I ever saw one. That's the one thing you cannot allow to happen, is the Brawl tank to get right up in your face as the Sigma. Oh wow. Already Saga half HP. One hell of a knife throw. Bit lucky, but either way. And you can set up here to defend, but eventually you're going to have to contest the cart. They did get Baz. Seems to be the only person. The cart's still chugging along, mind you, and Agreed, nah, he doesn't quite survive. The wrong melee weapon won that one, if you're Agreed. Hammer kill on Agreed, someone take a screenshot. But that's a good push. And they have about a minute extra compared to what Moths had at this point. So Rio positioning themselves quite well. They have both support ultimates. Recto's going to have his Pulse Bomb. Tanic will have the Molten Core, however, and I say that's an extremely powerful defensive ultimate, especially to zone people off. As well as just placing the turret well where we can see it right next to the cart. Recto getting ready, but they now know where he is and he knows where the turret is, give or take. Tanic going to scout. It looks like they just turtled up. Tanic now knows where Recto is. Oh dear, but Greninja takes a whole heap of damage. Recto, though, has to use that recall. Quite a lot of damage, and Agreed will be the first to fall. I don't think they want to use any more ultimates. They still have plenty of time. There's no reason to waste the beat. They already used the Kitsune Rush, didn't get anything out of it. And is Recto going to swap? He is. Onto the Genji, of all things. Not the most common Rectophobia choice, but I have seen it in the past. It has worked sometimes, and other times maybe not so much, but kind of fills that same niche as the Tracer. Greninja, however, is going to have that Flux. Baz does already have the beat. Sure enough. Recto looking for something, but he's taking a whole lot of damage now. Has the beat. Lamp immediately taken down. It's both supports. Tanic might try and go for the hammer kill, but I don't think he's going to get it this time around. Recto, please. Thank you. And that is probably, actually maybe not going to be second point right away, because you will have some folks capable of staggering unless Rio looks to block them off. Greninja swapping over to the Orisa. No, they're just turtling up for this third point, because keep in mind, there is no drawing here. This is pure, unadulterated win or lose. Now is the time. 3 minutes remaining. Not the largest time bank, especially for what they have to push. Beat coming in to answer Amur's railgun charges. Kitsune Rush, however, doesn't quite land in time. Agreed. Looking to even up the playing field. Recto as well. Finding the picks necessary, and I think this might be it. The series might be evening up. They just have to get rid of the horse. They do just that. There should be some staggers coming in, but will they be able to do anything, especially with the blade, with the Rampage coming in? Now Tanic does have Molten Core. Recto does not have Deflect. No! No! They didn't. Why does it feel like every single Rio series there's a C9? Why does it feel like every Rio series there's at least one bad C9, at least today? This was one hell of a play. I didn't expect it to work out this well, but the follow-up was absolutely there. Incredible performance, and I really couldn't ask for anything better here because, again, this series probably matters the most out of every series going on right now because all the other teams are pretty much locked in to where they are. But these two are fighting for that 4th place spot, and that's what matters the most because that determines playoffs tomorrow. So this next map could determine anything and everything because Hybrid was the only game mode that we can tie on. So it's all up to Moths to pick a map that they are comfortable on, that they think they can win on. There are subs available for both teams. You have Kilroy, you have Novus, you have North ready to go in for Rio. You have Sam still ready to go in once again for Moths if need be. But it looks like Rio is all ready to go. They're not going to be making any subs from what I can tell. They've already given the R. They're just waiting on the map type so that Rio can then make a ban. And then we're off to the races. We've already seen Control and we've seen Hybrid. That leaves Flashpoint. That leaves Push. And that leaves something else. I don't remember what. Escort, I guess. Would be the other one. Okay. Well, Sam is coming in for Greninja. And they choose Flashpoint. I believe Flashpoint only has 3 maps. It's like Suravasa. It's like Suravasa, the Junkertown, whatever. And then is there another one? There might be. But because there's only 3, I don't think there's a ban made. So they just choose what the map will be, and I don't think there's any more substitutions coming in. Again, Rio seems perfectly fine with this setup. So it's all up to Sam now. Greninja tried their darndest, couldn't quite make it work. Just waiting. Okay, we're going to Suravasa. We are going to Suravasa, ladies and gentlemen. That is where this series and the rest of the day ends, at least for this stream. I don't know what the other streams are doing, but most games have been 2-0s so far. So, Recto saying he has home turf advantage on Suravasa. We are going to be going in just a moment. I think, yeah, they already gave the R. We're going to be heading in, folks. End all, be all. It ends in the jungles of India. Suravasa, where are we? Okay, we're in this point. Well, agreed. Kinda got tank diffed by Sam on Busan. Can he avoid that this time around? This isn't the spawn I was looking for. This is. Well, you can see Sam already teasing, at the very least, the Maga. I don't know if they're going to stick on that, but it's currently what they're on. Agreed. Seems to be very comfortable with the Junker Queen. Seems to be more viable of an option right now, dare I say. He's been doing wonders with it. He's obviously comfortable on that hero. Everyone seems to be on the comfort picks. Tanic on the Genji. Shoreline on the Bastion. Will they be able to deal with Rectophobia's Tracer, however, because that's a very large hitbox. Immediately you can see them getting up close and personal. Agreed taking a lot of damage to start things off, although getting healed up pretty much immediately. Damien now in the line of fire. Agreed gets stunned out, but Damien is the first to fall. Shoreline does get taken down by Recto, like I said, but it seems like that's the only kill that Rio's going to be finding here The question is, will Agreed stick on the Junker Queen? Will he go to something else? It seems like he's going to stick on the Junker Queen for now. Baz stalling out just a little bit, but Sam seems to be quite comfortable on this Maga. Perhaps grinded that hero out in the previous meta. Recta, incredibly close to that pulse bomb already. No one else is particularly close. I guess Dawes is getting close to that Kitsune Rush. Sam already incredibly low, didn't even have to really start the fight. Stuck with the fadeaway. That's 2 kills immediately. And that's going to be an immediate flip unless someone makes a hero play to end all hero plays, but I don't think it's going to happen with the 2v5. There's just nothing that Dawes can do except get, well, slapped in the face with a pistol stock. That was the cleanest possible retake, and while the point does tick up significantly faster on Flashpoint, it seems at least. So they're already in 2-fight territory, maybe even 1-fight territory the way this goes, but Rio getting up there in percentage as well, but Amur gets caught out, Agreed as well. Beat comes into play, Recto looking for something here, has to use the recall. Does take out Tanic B before he can get any kind of health pack there. Kitsune Rush coming in, helping Recto as well. Shoreline getting dangerously low, but Sam finding quite a few picks. Another Pulse Bomb coming in. Looks for a kill, but actually finds the kill before the Pulse Bomb can come in. Doesn't quite flip the point yet. They're still stalling it out. Baz is there. Beat comes in for Saga, just for him and Sammy, however, so there's only so much they can do. Sam getting low. Will fall. Do have a blade coming in from Tanic B, but is he going to be able to find anything as Amor takes out Sam? Baz does fall, but Agreed takes out Tanic. This is so dicey, but point does flip over, and Damien cleans it up. I think Rio are going to be walking away with this sub point. They can't recontest, they just have to get ready for the next point, which is, I don't know, I can't see it on my screen for whatever reason, so we're just going to assume that the players are going in the right direction. Notably, Agreed has the Rampage, which is pretty darn powerful here, especially against the Maga. He's not going to be able to really do much of anything, and now would be a great time to use it, but I don't think they really even need to. Look at Sam's health. 2 tank ultimates out, but it looks like Sam is in a lot of trouble here. Tanic finding a lot of kills, but Agreed still doing a lot of work. I'm not sure if the Genji's really going to pay dividends here with Recto. Still having that Pulse Bomb. Maybe a bit too much of a fadeaway there, but Saga can't really do too much more. Recto taking a quick health pack. Yeah, that was just pure skill difference there, I'm going to call it. That was beautiful play from Rio. Got dicey, but at the end of the day, Agreed and Recto are just higher caliber than everyone else. Sam even has to swap off of the Maga, decided it's not worth it anymore. So is the Junker Queen going to work that well, or maybe is Agreed just going to be that much better? Who can diff each other here? Baz does have, actually both support ultimates are coming up for Rio. Beat, of course, pretty much immediately coming into play. A lot of damage being pumped out, but nothing really happening quite yet, but the boop coming into play. Baz gets 2 with it. Amor finds a 3rd. Recto cleans up Tanic, and Dawes is just fed to the wolves. This is looking like a little bit of a reverse sweep, folks. Recto perhaps typing? Yup. Now, Tanic does have a blade, and Dawes has that Kitsune Rush. I would imagine that's going to be the combo they're going for here. Sure enough, both Kitsune Rushes, but the blade isn't coming out quite yet. I would have expected to be out already, but now Tanic has the beat. Blade's gonna come out maybe some points in the near future, and maybe they saving it. Coming into play, but Amor styles on Tanic. Doesn't allow him to exist. Get out of here, son. That's gonna be the point for Rio. 1 more to go before they secure themselves in the playoffs. Unbelievable play there. Utterly annihilated. Skill gapped. Whatever you want to call it. And Recto still has the pulse bomb, by the way. That's the only ultimate that survived that fight. Everything was dumped. Moths should have a better position here, but Recto going on a cheeky flank. He doesn't quite know where everyone is yet. Now he should. Does he want to use the pulse bomb? Probably doesn't even need to, as Agreed finds two. Okay, we're just going to follow Agreed then, because Recto is non-committal right now. I say that and he immediately finds Saga, but that doesn't really matter. It's really just Shoreline, and yeah, it's looking like Rio's starting to run away with it. Anything can happen. It'd be funny to see. No, maybe not funny for Rio, but from an impartial perspective, it would be funny to see a reverse sweep on the map, preventing the reverse sweep of the series. Recto scouts out Tanic, now in a Tracer duel. Gave up on the Genji. Except Recto is known by many teams as a Tracer specialist in League Zero's history. Too much damage coming in. Tanic just melts. The back line is destroyed. Baz caught in the crossfire, but that's just kind of a Baz thing at this point. We're in like a fight and a half territory by the time they get back, maybe even one fight territory. Recto, you don't need health back, your health is full. Amor in particular, though, has had some insanely clutch plays here in this series on the Sojourn. Oh. That might have been an automatic. No one seems to know, so we'll give it... Oh, Baz. Unfortunate. He's gonna lose whatever charge he had to beat, which I wasn't paying attention to, but he is now wiped. He's coming back. Probably just a quick DC. But, I mean, this fight, even with Baz having his ult charge reset, started playing over on Baz instead. Came back on a different account entirely. Now he's logging off his main and logging, I'm assuming, back onto Unwiped Walter. But either way, you look at the ultimates, and it feels like Rio has a distinct advantage here. It really does. Everyone getting back into it, and while they won't have their Lucio, I mean, look at that, Shoreline's already basically gone. Dawes is gone. They find two immediately. They do lose Amor, but are they going to be able to touch? They will. Rampage comes into play, but immediately the Suzu comes out, so it's immediately cleansed. Sam getting the worst end of Agreed's knife. Tanic taken down. That is all she wrote. Rio reverse sweeps a first to two. They secure their spot in the playoffs, and Moths will join Easy Clap from the spectators stand here. This almost has to be a more. Yeah, I was gonna say, because denying a blade like that, the game takes that very seriously. Yup, there it is. What an absolute Chad right there. Well, let me just update the score for the sake of the graphic itself. Rio gets themselves the reverse sweep of the series. One hell of a performance, and that will knock Moths out of playoff contention. That is the last of the games that I have to stream tonight. I don't know what the other streams are like right now. Let's just check that out real fast. Looks like the main stream is done, and Paracelsus is still going. Laydux Dynasty and C's currently 1-1, so I'd go check that out right now. I'll link that in chat. Actually, no, I can literally just raid. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna raid Paracelsus. I'm gonna send you straight over there. Have fun, folks! And thank you all for tuning in. It's been a blast.